Hello there my dear friends, and welcome back to another Star Wars video. It is I coming at you once again, your friend and your favourite galactic hostess, Star Wars Meg. And today, I've got something which I hope is going to be a welcome and light-hearted change of pace. This is a topic I've been meaning to talk about for years, but I never got around to making a dedicated video to it. And given recent trending conversations in the Star Wars fandom, it just feels right. So what am I talking about? There is a term that's thrown around a lot in Star Wars fandom that's seen a big resurgence in the last few months, and the term I'm talking about is of course glup shitto. It originated in a tongue-in-cheek Tumblr post describing the overly enthusiastic reactions that hardcore fans have when a random yet still named background character appears in a new project. The original poster said this: "Every time a new Star Wars movie or show is announced, all the fans are like, oh my god, glup shitto is back." And they're right. From The Phantom Menace to The Rise of Skywalker, from Kenobi to Mando, there are thousands of them. And as a prequel fan who still collects the figures from the 2000s, I should know, George Lucas was a huge fan of them. And you want to know what's amazing about this fandom? We took a term that was meant to be mocking and teasing in its delivery, and we embraced it. Every single character who's ever been introduced has their own dedicated fan club. And I'm not just talking about Kit Fisto or Yariel Poof. I'm talking about background droids who only appeared for like 2 seconds in episode 2. We really are a mind-blowing and amazing bunch, and in 2026, we're arguably entering a glup shitto renaissance. Ben Quadineros, aka the highly memed People's Champ from The Phantom Menace, is resurfacing in the upcoming game, Star Wars Galactic Racer, and fans are hyped. And over the last few weeks, I've seen lots of glup shitto tier lists, ranking videos. It's a really great time for the unsung heroes of the galaxy. If you want to know the big-time Major League Ultimate Heavyweight of all glup shittos, there is no character in the entire galaxy who comes close to Thermoculus, Crescent Volt, Scissor Punch. It's no contest. If you're sat there thinking I made this guy up, I didn't. He's a full-ass character with a fully fledged backstory. Some of these glup shittos sound entirely made up, and I am tempted to make a list of my own favourites. But today, my friends, that isn't the main focus of what I wanted to talk about. Glup shittos are one thing, but there's a different category of Star Wars character I've not seen anyone else mention. These are Star Wars characters, usually Disney Star Wars characters, whose names were lifted from the expanded universe. Not always one for one, but clearly very heavily influenced by. And yet, they bear very little resemblance to their original Legends counterparts, both in terms of their nature and physicality, but usually it's just Lucasfilm lifting the name, twisting it, remixing it, and making it their own. In all fairness, I have spoken about this in terms of character designs. For instance, the inspiration behind Drash from Book of Boba Fett, or even the way fans notice similarities between Cassian Andor and Kyle Katarn. But today, I'm just talking about names. Now, I started noticing this phenomenon a few years back, but simply assumed it was just a one-off here and there, or just a coincidence. But some of them have become way too hard to ignore, and in this video, like I say, it's light-hearted, it's not serious. I want to take you through some of my favourite and most diabolical examples. Disney lifting characters from the expanded universe and remixing their names, and sometimes they don't even try to hide it. Now, this isn't a judgment. Lucasfilm is entitled to do what they want. They own the rights to all of these characters, be they canon or legends. But you'd be surprised just how often they do this. And by the way guys, most of these are taken from Andor, but our first example is one of the outliers. This is one which I'm always baffled not more Star Wars fans know about. The name Kylo Ren is inspired by the space pirate Kylo Ren from the 1985 animated show Star Wars Droids: The Adventures of R2-D2 and C-3PO.
Oh, no you don't.
But like I said, most of what we're going to talk about today is from Andor, so let's dive straight into it. The example that inspired this video is the duo Cinta and Vel, and they got their name from Boba Fett's Legends wife, Cintas Vel. They divided the name in two to make two canon characters, and like I said earlier, they have very little in common with the original character's purpose. Our second example is the last name Pack, Wilmon Pack and Salman Pack. Did you know the name is lifted from the Darth Bane trilogy? To be more specific, the second book, The Rule of Two. Pack, which is spelled the same way, was a human male who was a member of the Anti-Republic Liberation Front, which formed on Sereno, eventually the homeworld of Dooku.
I've been looking forward to this.
Yet another example is Tay Kolma, and he is inspired by Tay Vanis, a Rebel Alliance intelligence agent who operated during the Galactic Civil War. With a codename Tyree, Vanis sparred with the ISB, and specifically an agent called Marberez, who repeatedly tried to capture him.
I'm shocked.
Moving on yet again, we have another Andor example, and this is Davos Golden, who is named after a prisoner from the Old Republic, Davon Cole. Now for the next one, just like a lot of these, we don't have any official confirmation, but we can make some reasonable deductions and speculate about the resources the Lucasfilm story group used. Perrin is also a name used throughout Star Wars, not just for characters, but also a sector, which is also now canon. Moving away from Andor now, my friends, the next one is Jacen Syndulla, who I suspect is Dave Filoni's canon Mandoverse version of Jacen Solo. Yes, two very different characters, different parentage, but their roles could have a direct link. The character from Rebels who made his live-action debut in Ahsoka is clearly influenced by Han and Leia's kid, especially with confirmation he has the Force. So many fans, myself included, have theorized Hera's son might go down the path of darkness and follow a similar trajectory to Darth Caedus. And you might be thinking, isn't Kylo Ren the canon version of Jacen? Well, yes, but knowing Dave Filoni, there must be a reason he gave Hera's son the same name as the character from Legends. And finally, my dear friends, this example is one where Disney is literally admitting this naming trend, giving Jodnar Narwood in Skeleton Crew the nickname Crimson Jack, a pre-existing character in both canon and Legends. So as you can see, my friends, there are countless examples of this, and if you know any that you like, let me know in the comments. But Lucasfilm can do what they want with these characters, because when they relegated the expanded universe, it became obvious as the years went on, they were ignoring Legends continuity. The stories, the timelines, they were never going to adapt those one for one, but what they do instead is they lift a character here and there, like Grand Admiral Thrawn, Rook, Pelion, and they make them their own. Or in this case, they take a character's name that they like, and they twist it. But I just thought this was a pretty fun topic. They might do the same thing with this guy, the Warlord from The Mandalorian and Grogu. As I covered in my last video, there are rumours his name is going to be Janu Coin, inspired by the actor's name Johnny Coin. But what if he's Warlord Singe? Could they take the aesthetic and the name of Legends and once again give it a canon coat of paint? If they do that, they better do the character justice. But that said, that brings us to the end of today's Star Wars video. If you enjoyed this one, guys, please be sure to give me a big fat thumbs up, subscribe if you're new, check me out on socials, and may the Force be with you, always.